What is the biggest lesson that you and your business have learned so far from adapting to AI?
So I work for a business school, so working with students, enabling them to use AI to the maximum advantage while not relying on it so heavily that effectively they're outsourcing their brains. So they don't want to do that, they want to engage, but we've got to help them do that.
Where do you draw the line between using your brain enough?
That's a great question. I think we're still discovering all of that. I think in terms of basic research and doing fixing your grammar, fixing your language, that kind of thing. I think all of that is completely acceptable. But I think my students still want to know how to engage in the topic, still want to kind of have those skills. They don't want that just to be something they get from a screen.
On the subject of B2B marketing,
Yeah.
what do you see currently as the biggest opportunity for that industry?
Changing business models. Most B2B marketing is part of a supply chain, a value chain, and the new business models which make that much more flexible and creates meet requirements much more accurately up and down the value chain. That's where the biggest change is going to come. I mean, it's easy to look at content production and targeting, but business models is where the real value is.
You know, what's fascinating is the changes come so fast and so frequent, and they're so profound. But one question remains, which is what skills will be needed, especially in industries around marketing, to embrace the potential of AI?
Yeah, so I think that's really interesting. So I think that on the one hand, you need AI skills, but that's going to become increasingly the baseline. To really succeed, you actually need the human skills, because AI is going to look after the AI skills. It's going to be easy. So actually, it's the value of those human interactions which is actually going to increasingly be important and going to differentiate the best from the rest.
And there's an element of the human interaction being available, being noticeable, becoming actually premium in the future.
Yes, exactly, because so much interaction will be done by machine that actually that small amount of interaction, which has to be human, will become of vastly more importance. And therefore, those skills are going to be paramount.
Fascinating. All right, now, futurist hat on. By 2030, which currently is roughly 4 or 5 years away,
Yeah.
how do you think the marketing landscape will have changed because of AI? And we only know what it looks like now and where it's probably going, but do your futurist bit.
ChatGPT is 3 years old. So we've seen a massive amount of change in that time. Strangely, I think the next 5 years will be more about realizing the value of those tools. So yes, it'll improve into better integration and so on, but it's the race to embed AI in the business processes we do anyway, into our marketing automation systems, into our word processing search. You can see it already, how it's getting more and more embedded into those tools. And that's going to be the big change over the next few years. We're not going to see radical transformation in the technology itself. We're going to see much more change come about because of the embedding of that technology into our everyday processes.
Personal now. What is it about AI, what you've seen so far and what you understand is coming, that excites you the most about this technology?
Personally, the thing that most impact me personally, I am terrible at languages. Okay, I lived in France. I have some French, but other than that, I'm rubbish. I would love to be able to have a sort of universal translator that enables me to speak around the world and talk to people without just hoping they speak English. So that would be a huge benefit for me.
I think it's coming, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I hope so.
And then another personal question. If AI could take one task off your plate, you just never need to do it again. And I will give you leeway here. You can go into robotics as well if you like, AI-powered robotics. What would that task be?
When I worked in industry, I had a PA, and I would love to have an AI PA, someone to do my flight booking, calendar management, answer basic emails, maybe attend some of those Zoom meetings I don't really want to go to, that kind of thing. That would be awesome, because that would free up my time to do the bits that I love, like engaging with students, doing research, talking to experts, which I really enjoy, and I wouldn't have to spend my time booking flights. That would be awesome.
In fact, that form of AI, if anything, elevates the human ability.
Precisely, because it gives me time to do the things that I want to do instead of doing the administratively boring bit that actually an AI does certainly better than I do. I mean, the other thing is I'm really not very good at doing those things. Hopefully an AI would be far better. So that would be amazing.
And finally, what is a piece of advice you would give your younger self on embracing the technological changes that bring us innovation like AI?
I think number one would be invest in Google stock in the IPO in 2004. That would be extremely useful, wouldn't it?
That'd be great.
More relevantly, don't necessarily believe the hype. I think that the tech industry is full of hype. There are always things that come about. We're all going to be trading NFTs. We're all going to be wearing VR headsets. We're all going to be watching 3D television and riding about on segways.
Don't forget flying cars.
And flying cars. So there's always a lot of hype around the tech industry, but you've got to think about the areas where it improves people's lives, because that's what actually matters. Does it improve people's lives? Does it improve how businesses operate? Does it make business more effective, more efficient? Does it make the human experience better in some way? Because those are the technologies which will last and add genuine value. So what I'd advise myself is sort of don't get carried away by brands and hype and sort of noise. Just focus on where is the value in this technology? Is it something genuinely useful or not? And I think that's the biggest piece of advice.